Hello everyone, in this tutorial we are going to understand ServiceNow Studio and its features. So if you see in general any application, if you want to create it as with its files and file types, you need some IDE. So similarly, ServiceNow Studio provides that IDE, the integrated development environment, and this interface is used for building and modifying the applications. If you remember, in our previous tutorial we have seen how the ServiceNow instance looks like. So now in this tutorial we're going to see how ServiceNow Studio looks, and we are going to even create a sample application to show how actually the ServiceNow Studio can be used to add tables, fields, anything which is required. So now how our ServiceNow helps us is it provides easy navigation to all files in your application, and it has tabbed interface and offers many other convenient features like keyboard shortcuts, code search and more. So it's just not a simple IDE, but rather than it provides many other features too. So features does it provide? So if you might have a doubt that what features are provided by Studio. So here are the features. You can create and edit the applications, you can create the application files. So there is difference between application and application files. Application is something which holds all the application files, so you can term application as some project you have done, can be an application, and application files are somewhat which are within the application. So now you can determine which application files comprise an application, so you can determine what you want to have and what not. You can link applications. Yes, if you say that you have already a JIT source code repository where within the JIT you have your repository, you have your project ready like a demo project. So what you can do is you can directly link applications to that repository. You can publish applications to the ServiceNow application repository. You can even publish them. You can submit the applications to App Store. As I said, if you feel like your app has got the potentiality to be to sell it in your App Store of ServiceNow, you're always welcome. You can just go and submit it. The ServiceNow team takes care of that. They will do the required checks. If they feel like it's worthy, then they will publish it in the App Store. So one thing to be remembered before starting any application development, well, this is something we need to talk a bit more than the rest of the things. The reason is, if your design is not correct, if your design has flaws, your application is going to fail miserably, and that should be avoided. Yes, because the reason is, if you go with a half designed application in the future, you'll understand that, oh my god, everything is well and good, but my design is the worst. But design is the one which has to be good, and the rest things will be good enough. So be clear with your application designing. Like I say, if you're going to implement anything like, okay, you want to do something like a hotel room booking application, you can just go around and develop that, but you need to have a design like how a booking interface should be, and what are the tables. Model tables play a crucial role in determining what kind of an application you make. So this should be clear, like these are the two tables, like this would be the main table where my hotel room request will go, and there will be other table where the task will be generated, so that whatever within a you book a hotel and any other things to be done is taken care by the task. So you need a task table, you need your request table. So these all things are preliminary things. Maybe if you don't talk it in terms of coding perspective or tables perspective, but still you should understand what are the entities required and how do you fit them into your application. If you have this design clear, then the rest of the things go smoothly. Understand who will be the end users and other stakeholders. Like, this is another thing to be remembered, because see, if you're making it for any technical user, then you might have your application where that user might understand, so you can you can incorporate few technical concepts. But what if a user doesn't even know how what it is doing? The only thing he knows is he has to raise a request. Then such things will always be helpful for the end users to understand easily if their user experience is good enough. So that's what you need to understand, who the end users are. Now model tables, as I said, because in ServiceNow tables play a crucial role. Like, that's where finally the data goes in stores. So maintaining these model tables are very important in a good designed way. Now, note down all the requests in a proper manner. Yes, you need to note down all your requirements in a proper manner so that you don't face any issues in the future. So these are the few things which have to be remembered, and once you remember these things, then I think you can just go and start you doing your application development. Well, how do you create an application in ServiceNow? Well, first thing is you need to understand how to get into the studio. So the steps to getting into the studio is, first go to the filter navigator and then click the studio. Then the studio opens up in a new window. Well, if it after it gets opened up, you'll understand that there are three ways which it can be done. So let's go and first open up our instance which we created in the last tutorial. Well, I just opened up my Chrome browser and then I'm going into the developer.servicenow.com. Yeah, I will be logging in using my credentials. I hope you guys have got your instance ready so that you can start doing hands-on. Well, I'm signing in now. Let's see, as I was talking, that the instance feel bored and they get into sleep mode. So now in this tutorial, I think because it was last, I just opened it a few days back. If you see my instance, I hope it is there because it didn't exceed it 10 days. Yes, there is something. You can see the screen is actually covering that, but if you see, the remaining activity is 6 days. That's what. Since you were away for a while, your instance become bored and went to sleep. Well, this sentence is pretty much clear, saying that I didn't use it for a long time. So they're asking, should we wake it up? Yes. If you want to wake, then click this. If you don't want, you can go back to the dashboard. But yes, I want to wake my instance. I'll click yes, wake instance. So if you see, there it comes. This is the percentage which will show how much percent it has happened and how much time it will take for the instance to get awake. Now you can see waking your instance and it will take a few minutes. You can see it's 3% now, and this achieves 100% in a couple of minutes, and once it is up, it's again back to use. So this might take a few minutes. Okay, if you observe, now the instance is online. That means it's active and you can just log into your instance. And always remember, whenever you log into your instance, it might ask for your password, but if it saves your password, then it will not ask you again. Yes, so this is our ServiceNow UI, as you guys know. Here in the filter navigator, I'm going to search studio. So it will take me to within system applications module. There is an application called studio. So I'm going to click on the studio. So it opens up in a new window. Well, there we go. Here it is asking. So this is the basic UI of ServiceNow Studio. I'm going to explain you about all of these things, what all panes do what things. But before that, there is something it is asking. You have not created any applications. Why not create one? Alternatively, you can import a ServiceNow application from Git repository. So either you can create an application on your own from here. If not, if you have any other application ready, you can just import from source control. Currently, if I click on create application, you can see a new pop-up comes with 3 options. Well, what does this 3 options state? There are 3 things: start from scratch, create application, start from a service. Okay, so what does start from scratch mean? So if you want to start an application from scratch, that means it's in a blank thing. It's like ServiceNow gives you an empty, like, a clean paper, a clean white paper. You can just draw anything you want. That's how it is. It is like everything you do, it is from scratch. You'll build your own workflows, you'll have your own tables. There is nothing which ServiceNow provides. If you come to creating a custom application, what it does is you can create a powerful business application in just 2 clicks. Well, this is something awesome. Like, they start with a table, menu, simple access controls. So you'll understand each of these things in the following coming tutorials. Then you can build from there using all the power of the platform, and that's obviously behind you. So you can just go out. And now if you want to start from a service, well, There is service creator which will we can deploy a successful service. Within that you can create or more advanced enterprise application based on your winning service. So you can start it from a service too, but now currently we will be starting it from the scratch.